Well, when this phone arrived, I expected this to be at 35 to 40,000, and you would think the same when you just hear the specs. You get Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 first time in India, 7000 mAh battery, UFS 4.1 storage, 1.5K 144Hz flat AMOLED display. Like, this is premium stuff. But the fact is, you get all of this around 30,000. Now that's really good pricing. This is the iQOO Neo 10. Now so far what I can see is iQOO has the Z series, which is mostly budget, and then there's the iQOO Number series, which is flagship, like iQOO 12, iQOO 13. Now the iQOO Neo series falls between these both series. We already saw the iQOO Neo 10R, which was launched for around 25,000 rupees. Now this iQOO Neo 10 fills the spot right around 30,000 rupees. So the question that has to be asked is this the fastest mid-range phone under 30,000? Overall, how's the camera with that Sony sensor? Is it a good overall phone? Well, Prateek, TechVisor, and we tested this phone to the max. Now, before we get there, you get this black box. Inside the box, you get the phone, some paperwork, a soft transparent TPU case, 120 watt flash charge charger, a SIM ejector pin, and a Type-C to Type-C cable. The box comes with everything you need. Unlike some companies who feel that removing a charger saves the environment, but then they ship the same charger with a separate box. But iQOO said the environment is fine. Here's a 120 watt brick, which is also a PD charger. Now comes the most awaited part of the Neo 10 performance. So the iQOO Neo 10 comes with India's first Snapdragon 8s Gen 4, 16GB LPDDR5X Ultra RAM, 512GB UFS 4.1 storage. Now one thing to note here is the base variant starts at 128GB, which is UFS 3.1, whereas the 256 and 512GB variant, you will get UFS 4.1. Now just on the specs, I had two big questions. Like, number one, what is LPDDR5X Ultra RAM? Well, from what I read, it seems like a better or a premium version of LPDDR5X. So I took an LPDDR5X phone and then again this LPDDR5X Ultra, and I tried loading games side by side to see if it really affects your day-to-day usage. And if you load smaller games like Candy Crush, the difference is minimal. But if you load heavier games, the difference in game load time is noticeable, and every single time. And the second question was, what is now Snapdragon 8s Gen 4? Well, Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 is an upgrade to Snapdragon 8s Gen 3. To explain it better, we ran the AnTuTu benchmark. It scored around 2.2 million on AnTuTu. And if I keep an 8s Gen 3 phone besides, you see the better scores are due to faster CPU and GPU than 8s Gen 3. In theory, you get about 31% faster CPU and 49% faster GPU. And even if I keep other phones in the same price range, it scores well against the Dimensity 8350 or even last year's flagship 8 Gen 3. So basically, 8s Gen 4 was rumored to launch as 8s Elite, but since it doesn't use the Orion cores from 8 Elite, it is called 8s Gen 4. Now the good thing is, it uses the same GPU architecture as Snapdragon 8 Elite. So you see really good GPU scores. In fact, it uses the same sliced GPU architecture as 8 Elite. You also get really good gaming support. First of all, the iQOO Neo 10 is the only phone to run BGMI at 144 FPS. iQOO uses its custom chip, supercomputing chip Q1, to push it up to 144 FPS. Like within the game, you get 120 FPS native support, but then if you enable frame rate boost option, the FPS goes to 144. And we played BGMI as much as we could. The FPS just doesn't drop. You get that stable 144 FPS, and we played for about an hour. Now, of course, BGMI is a highly optimized game. What about something heavy? So we played something heavier like Wuthering Waves. You get the option to have ultra high graphics at 60 FPS. Now only 8 Elite supports these settings. Now we wanted to test the heating further. So I ran a 4K 60 FPS video recording to see how much does it heat after a couple of hours. I ran the test for more than 1 hour. Nobody shoots 4K 60 frames per second for this much time. And by the way, this is a non-AC room. The temperature touched like 43 max and battery drain was 20%. That's good. And again, some games like Clash of Clans, Brawl Stars, Clash Royale, they support 144 FPS natively. Now, again, since this is an iQOO phone, it comes with Ultra Game Mode, which gives you FPS meter, and you get a couple of extra options to enhance gaming, like Gaming Super Resolution for better clarity, 4D vibration, bypass charging. So if you put your phone on charge while gaming, instead of charging the battery, it directly supplies power to the phone so that there is less heating. So I feel 8s Gen 4 is the processor to beat in this price segment. Now the first thing that grabs your attention here is the design. Like the design here looks quite premium and unique at the same time. Now you get this camera module which is inspired by the flagship iQOO 13's camera design. It's similar. But if you don't like this Inferno Red, then there's also a more subtle variant. Wait, let me check the name. Titanium Chrome. Titanium is quite the color this year. Looks very minimal. Now cool thing is, if you tilt the phone like this under light, you can see between the dual tone design, there's an Easter egg which says Neo Power to Win. Nice one. I like such thoughtful Easter eggs, just like our channel banner. Let me know if you find the Easter egg. Now back to the phone, it actually feels surprisingly premium for a 30,000 phone. Now the iQOO Neo 10 comes with a polycarbonate back and it has this matte finish. The weight is still around 206 grams and the phone is very easy to hold in your hands. It's just 8.09 mm, so it doesn't feel like a brick in your pocket. By the way, it's the slimmest phone with a 7000 mAh battery. Also, you get an IP65 rating, so you know when in this Delhi heat you are trapped in that sudden showers and hailstorm. God knows whether you can survive that or not, but your phone can survive that. Also, you get dual stereo speakers, and if you use tap to pay like me, congrats. There's NFC. Now, the second thing that I like is the 6.78 inch 1.5K flat AMOLED display. It can go up to 144 Hz while you are gaming, but in normal tasks, it sits at 60, 90 or 120 Hz depending on what you do on the screen. And the good thing is, it supports HDR on both YouTube as well as Netflix. And I realized this while I was rewatching Dabba Cartel on Netflix. You see the HDR 10 Plus tag. Now, if you see side by side with a non-HDR display in same price, see brightness isn't an issue. Look at the colors. It's much more realistic. Like the sky here looks blue, colors are more closer to reality. And again, the display can go up to 5500 nits of peak brightness. But in general usage or outdoors under direct sunlight, you get about 2000 nits HBM, which is quite bright. Now, in terms of glass protection, it comes with Scotch Sensation Alpha Glass protection. But in 2025, which smartphone gets a bad display? Everyone gets it right, but camera is one of the few things that is hard to get right. So we are out here to test the camera in real life conditions. So you get a 50 megapixel main camera, that is Sony IMX882 with OIS, and you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. So the camera setup is similar to iQOO Neo 10R, but the processor is different. So I'm interested to see how different is the processing. So we took a lot of photos in daylight conditions. Unexpectedly, they came out excellent for a performance phone. Like the colors and the light control are fantastic. The skin tone is slightly on the warmer side. This Sony sensor with OIS makes a huge difference. And especially for those 2x detailed photos, the ISP on 8S Gen 4 is making the difference. Even the photos taken indoors come out good. Now in portrait photos, you get 3 options. You can do 1x, 1.5x and 2x. Now the main camera has enough details, so even the 2x portrait photos come out good. Now with the photos in ultra wide angle camera, there is a minimal shift between the ultra wide angle and the main camera, and the photo quality is as expected from an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. And on the front, you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera and the selfies come out good. Like I really liked it. Now in terms of videos, it can do maximum at 4K 60 FPS. And probably this would be the only camera in this price segment that can also do 4K 60 FPS on the front as well as rear camera. So that's nice. Overall, if I consider this is a performance phone, the main camera takes good photos and videos. Now, in terms of software, it comes with FunTouch OS 15 based on Android 15. Now, FunTouch OS I've seen since the start, they have improved quite a lot on animation. Like if you see, they are much smoother and better now. And next, you get a lot of AI features or features in general. Like if you go to the gallery, you get AI erase. There's even a new mode for removing people in a bunch. And I also use this one feature quite a lot, AI Image Expander, which can intelligently extend the edges of a photo. Apart from this, it comes with other AI features like Circle to Search, Live Text, Google Gemini, etc, etc. Now, in terms of software updates, it will get 3 years of Android updates and 4 years of security updates. Now, in terms of pre-installed apps, thankfully, there were no hot apps or hot games. It was only these 6 apps, and apart from Snapchat, I personally use all of them. And also, if needed, you can easily uninstall them. Now, the battery life on the iQOO Neo 10 is fantastic. Like the 7000 mAh battery easily lasted me 1 day, and you can easily charge it 100% in just under 40 minutes with the 120 watt charger, which is included in the box. Now, one of the many underrated things is the iQOO Neo 10 supports both 100 watt PD as well as PPS charging. So, in case you lose the original charger, you can buy any 100 watt PD or PPS charger from Amazon and it would work. This phone by far is the most well supported fast charging phone I have seen. Other brands should learn from this. Also, one thing to note is you get a software based proximity sensor. There's no physical proximity sensor. Rest you get Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, 16 5G bands. All of those are good. So what's the conclusion? Is this the fastest mid-range phone at 30,000? Well, in our testing, I would say absolutely yes. This exceeded all my expectations. I believe you will see a lot of phones now coming up with Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 after this. But again, I doubt that it will be priced lower than the iQOO Neo 10. So if you're looking for a gaming phone or performance phone, and mostly you use it on 5G because you're outdoors or in college, the iQOO Neo 10 has good battery life as well as good performance. And I believe the processor 8S Gen 4 plays a good part in that. So we just got the exact pricing. The iQOO Neo 10 costs 31,999, but with 2,000 bank discount, you get it for 29,999. On that note, Pratik, TechWiser signing off. See you pretty soon. Pew pew pew. Por favor.